Okay friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In my last video I talked about common errors made both in spoken and written language, English language. Today I'll be continuing from where I stopped in the last video. If you haven't watched the last video, I encourage you to do so, and so as to flow with the teaching or the lecture. Please, you have to know the right things to say. That's basically what this tutorial is about. Know the right words to use, know the words not to use when intending to communicate a meaning to the second person. Please, I want to also encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribe to my YouTube channel so as to be notified whenever we upload new videos. So today we'll be talking about the difference between, or the use of the word disvirgined or deflowered, which is correct. When a lady has just been, for instance, a lady has just been raped, do you say she's disvirgined, or do you say she has been deflowered? Now, disvirgined is obviously wrong. There's no word such as disvirgined in the English dictionary. You wouldn't ever find it anywhere, be it in American English or in British English. You wouldn't find it anywhere. It doesn't exist. Deflowered is the right word to use. Disvirgined is very wrong. Here are examples of how it is used. For instance, Jenny was disvirgined by a 40-year-old man. This is wrong. Like I had said ab initio, that the word disvirgined doesn't exist. So the correct thing to say is Jenny was deflowered by a 40-year-old man. That's the appropriate word, or the appropriate use of the word. Next, the use of the word academic, academician, and academy. Many times, many folk misplace the use of these words. You see that you're using academy to mean in the place of academic, or academician in the place of academic. So what do these words mean? How can they be used? What's the appropriate usage? That's what I'm going to do now. So when we say academic, what is an academic? Who is an academic? An academic actually is one who teaches in a university, a polytechnic, a college of education, whatsoever. Anyone who teaches or who lectures in such institution of learning is called an academic. So an academician, on the other hand, is a member of an academy. For instance, a student of an institution of learning is, an academician. And then an academia is actually a field of learning, teaching, research, whatsoever, especially in the university, engineering, medicine, law. Now these are all field of learning. They are called academia. So here are a few examples on how they can be used. Every lecturer in the university is an academic. Every lecturer is an academic. Now I didn't remember to put in academy. An academy is actually the institution itself. The institution itself is an academy. So you have academic, meaning one who teaches in a university or a polytechnic or a college. Then an academician, I'm just repeating it so you get the point correctly. An academician is a member of an academy, which is a student in an academy. Academia is simply a field of learning or a field of research whatsoever. And academy is the institution of learning itself. So another example, every student of MIT is an academician. He took a career in academia last year. These are simple ways in which it can be used. Another use is another word set is later and latter. Almost very similar spelling, a subtle difference in their pronunciation, but the first, which has just one T, means after. I'll see you later means I'll see you after. Now that's how it is used. The second, on the other hand, means belonging to the end of a period more recently mentioned. What does it mean? Now, in the examples below, you see, I hope to visit Uncle Cliff later in the day. Now, that's for the first, the one that has just a single T. I hope to visit Uncle Cliff later in the day. What does it mean? It has to come after whatsoever I'm doing now. Now, the second example here says, Peju and Chioma are both tall, but the latter, Chioma, is taller than the former. Now, the latter here is used here refers to Chioma. It comes after. There are sequences of thoughts or sequences of subjects used. The last is referred to as the later. Then the very first, or the ones mentioned at the initial stage of the sentence, is referred to as the former. So that's why you see my example here. Peju and Chioma are both tall. You see? But the latter, now the latter, like I said before, points to Chioma because Chioma comes after. The latter refers to Chioma, is taller than the former. So when using these words, you have to be careful enough to know the appropriate one to apply. Next set of words are opportune and opportuned. Many persons make mistakes so often in the use of these words. I've heard people say, oh, I wasn't opportuned to do this, I wasn't opportuned to do that. Well, is that correct? Is it correct to use that word? Now, opportuned, as you see here, is non-existent. It doesn't exist in the English vocabulary. You wouldn't find it in any dictionary. So it's wrong to use the word opportuned. The appropriate word to use is opportune. Now, it is actually an adjective and it means suitable. It means suitable moment. Now, the noun form of opportune is what you call opportunity. See, opportune is an adjective. Opportunity is a noun. Now, here are a few examples. I was opportuned to meet the president of the USA last week. Is this correct? No, it's very wrong. Simply because of the word opportuned. Like I said before, the word opportuned doesn't exist. Now, an appropriate word would be like, it was an opportune moment. You see, it was an opportune moment for us to welcome the new vice chancellor. Opportune, like I said before, means suitable. It was a suitable moment. It was an opportune moment. And most times, people tend to use this word as a verb. It's not a verb. It's an adjective. The next set of words I have here is onset and outset. How can these words be appropriately used? Onset simply talks about, or simply means, the starting point or beginning of something bad, while outset means the starting point or beginning of something good. So now please note, if there is nothing in a question or a statement that suggests that something is bad or undesirable, you are required to presume that it is desirable. So outset should be the appropriate word to be used in such a setting. So here are a few examples. The man declared his intention from the outset. Now, this statement here doesn't in any way suggest that something bad has happened. It doesn't suggest anything bad. And so since it doesn't suggest anything bad, outset would be more appropriate in this setting. Another example is his determination to succeed in life was quite obvious from the outset. You see, not from the onset, because onset is talking about the beginning of something bad, so it is the outset, from the outset. Then another example is the company has been in crisis from the onset. Now, crisis is indicative, the word crisis here is indicative of the fact that this situation is negative. So the word onset is more appropriate. So it's not outset in this case, but onset. Well, if you've followed through to this point, I want to appreciate you. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Please don't forget and click the notification bell. It will notify you on whenever I add a new video. Thank you.